Pale Garden drop has recently come to Minecraft, so I thought it would be a good idea to show off some seeds I found on chunkbase with this new biome at spawn. Not this one, this is the default one. First of all, a bonus seed. First of all, we have this seed, and this is actually the bonus seed, which I showed off in the last seed showcase video I did, which was 3 weeks ago now. This one I didn't actually find on chunkbase, I found by chance a few weeks ago, but the Pale Garden didn't exist in the game a few weeks ago, so when I found it back then, it did have this woodland mansion here, but it didn't have this really nice looking Pale Garden. I was a bit concerned that when the game would update to the 1.20, 1.50 drop, when the game would drop. Okay, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, I was concerned basically that a Pale Garden would spawn here and the Woodland Mansion would get overwritten, but luckily it spawned in that spot instead. So now we have a Woodland Mansion and a Pale Garden both at spawn, as well as a village. This makes this place a really good seed. Moving on to the non-bonus seeds, we first have this seed here, which is a very islandy seed. It's everywhere's kind of connected, but it's also very islandy, like, especially if you go this way, you can never seem to escape from the oceans. But yes, the reason I pointed out that seed is because it has a Pale Garden very close to spawn. Upon looking upon this place earlier, I'm saying upon a lot, I couldn't actually find any creaking carts, which could make this place useless. But I did hear 1.20, 1.60 is going to bring a bedrock tree placement in parity, almost parity anyway, with Java Redemption, so hopefully the next update should fix that. See what I mean about this seed being islandy? We have a big island here. This place is all an island. This is the spawn island, this is. Oh, wait, no, 2 islands. And another island, and then this place here is also kind of an island. I mean, it looks like a really cool island. Imagine if a Pale Garden spawned on here instead. We literally have drowned ruins spawning inside of a dark oak forest. And is that an enchanted fishing rod, I see? Very islandy. The most islandy seed on this list, in fact. Next we have this seed here, a far less islandy seed, in fact more of a mountainy seed. I've not found an ocean on that seed yet, but I have found lots of mountains, and obviously a Pale Garden, otherwise I wouldn't be showcasing this. We have 2 average-sized Pale Gardens at spawn. We have this one here, and then we also have this other Pale Garden attached to this mountain here. Pretty tiny Pale Gardens, but the seeds will get better as we go along. I think the main reason you'd want to explore this seed is for the massive mountain you have here. Look how beautiful this is with the tiger below it. This is the center of the mountain. No Pale Garden in there though. And if I go into spectator mode, I would not be surprised if I find an ancient city or 2 down here. There we go. So on this seed we have 2 Pale Gardens and an ancient city, both fairly close to spawn. We then have this seed here where you already spawn pretty high up, Y120. So we have quite a lot of biomes. We have a jungle and a dark oak forest, which go really well together. Then we just have a Pale Garden sitting on this hill here, which its colours don't quite match the things which are around it, but it's still cool, and it's the reason why I chose that seed, because there is a Pale Garden very, very close to spawn. You know what, they actually seem quite big when you're inside them, even though they are, in reality, very, very tiny. As well as that, that seed also has a cool river thing. It also has a cherry grove biome over there, as well as some other mountains. Well, sort of mountains. Very tiny mountains. It's like having a seed on the small biome setting, isn't it? I've saved the best 2 seeds for last, because on our 4th out of 5 seeds here, another quite mountainous seeds, there's a theme with these seeds being mountainous, and then that just one seed being islandy. So yeah, we have this mountain range over here, another mountain right there, and another mountain there. The mountains aren't really what's important, it's obviously the Pale Garden that's important, and this seed has 2 Pale Gardens pretty close to each other, far bigger than the ones we've seen before. So first of all we have this one right next to a mountain, which is cool. flying over it makes me realise just how many trees there are in the Pale Garden. No wonder mobs are spawning in here all the time, you barely get any sunlight. Our next Pale Garden is over this way, on another side of the Dark Oak Forest, and this takes up a pretty big portion of what would have been the entire biome just a few days ago. This is how big the Pale Garden is from space, or Minecraft space, and flying all the way up here made me discover that the lovely Pale Garden sky actually ends after a while. See, if I drop, then... ta-da! Ah, that's weird. Another thing I discovered about that seed is that it has a massive mushroom island about 4,000 blocks away, which I'm a big fan of. I love mushroom islands, but that's not what we want to demonstrate for today's video. Our final seed is this one, which only has one Pale Garden, but what it lacks for in numbers, it makes up for in size. It's more of an average seed. Think about it, this is probably the most average seed there is. And this is why I said makes up for in size, because like the last one, this also has a massive Pale Garden, except possibly bigger, I'm not sure. So here is the Pale Garden from space view, and it is apparently smaller than the last one we showed off just now. But that doesn't mean it's bad. This is probably the most average looking seed we have here, apart from the Pale Garden at spawn. And the good thing about this Pale Garden is, if I dig down from here, we eventually drop into an ancient city. So that's another good thing. We have an ancient city at spawn right underneath the Pale Garden. It's either the Warden is living in the Creaking's basement or the Creaking is living in the Warden's attic. There's also lava and diamonds in this ancient city, which is a bonus, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it for my Pale Garden / apparently ancient city showcase video. So thanks for watching. Goodbye. Subscribe. I could show you more seeds if I want to, but I can't be bothered, so yeah, bye.